say they are gods. And in that case, one should be very smart and ask them to show their universal form. So that's what Arjuna is trying to set for the future generations, not to deceive people. It's not just only for him. So after that, Krishna started to tell him how he is going to see the universal form. He will give him Divya Chakshu so that he can see the universal form, because this is very brilliant transcendental form. Ordinary eyes cannot see it because it's very glaring effulgence. That's why. So, and then now Krishna started to show him also. After which Sanjaya said they both are, one is displaying, Krishna is displaying, Arjuna is looking at the universal form. And now Arjuna is now in ecstasy because he's seeing the universal form. And the universal form is not like in one dimension. It is multi-dimension, n dimensions. Like anywhere you see across, like it is, for example, when you sit in a planetarium, have you had anybody experience? Like wherever you see, you're seeing on the top, right? The stars and everything, but that's still not n dimensional. What you see is still within the 3D that we are seeing, but it has limitations. So similar to that, just an analogy. So similar to that, Arjuna could see everything in the universe, past, present, and the future. He himself and the battlefield and everything else, just like as Mother Yashoda saw in Krishna's mouth. Krishna himself looking, and Mother Yashoda himself looking into Krishna's mouth. That is how much she saw in Krishna's mouth. So similar to that, Arjuna could see everything, past, present, future, as well as the entire manifestations of the Devatas, the material manifestations of the mountains, rivers, seas, oceans, so many planets. He could see within Krishna, and that is very astonishing. It's very wonderful, that picture. So now he's going to speak about what he's seen. Okay, let's get started. Some people are only listening mode today. I hope I don't call out on them. Yashita Mataji, are you okay to read? Also had some problem. Are you okay
Yes,
to read? Yeah.
I know.
Arjuna Vacha Pashyami Devam Stavate Vaddehe
Arjuna Vacha Pashyami Devanstava Devatehe
Sarvam Satabhuta Vishesha Sangan
Sarvamstatha Bhuta Vishesha Sanghan
Brahmanamisham Kamalasanam Stam
Brahmanamisham Kamalasanastham
Rishimscha Sarvan Puragamscha Divyan
Rishimscha Sarvan Urgamscha Divyan.
Thank you. Translation, Arjuna said, My dear Lord Krishna, I see assembled in your body all the demigods and various other living entities. I see Brahma sitting on the lotus flower, as well as Lord Shiva and all sages and divine serpents. Please read the purport.
Arjuna sees everything in the universe. Therefore, he sees Brahma, who is the first creature in the universe, and the celestial serpent upon which the Garbhodakshai Vishnu lies in the lower regions of the universe. This snake pet is called Vasuki. There are other snakes known as Vasuki. Arjuna can see from the Garbhodakshai Vishnu up to the topmost part of the universe on the lotus flower planet, where Brahma, the first creature of the universe, resides. This means that from the beginning to the end, everything could be seen by Arjuna, who was sitting in one place on his chariot. This was possible by the grace of the Supreme Lord Krishna.
Yeah.
Thank you.
He didn't have to move, or neither he had to go to any place to see this. Everything was visible from the place where he was sitting. Next. Uma Mataji, text that 16. Aneka Bahudara Vakta Netram
अनेकबहुधरवक्त्रनेत्रं
पश्यामि त्वं सर्वतोऽनन्तरूपम्
पश्यामि त्वं सर्वतोऽनन्तरूपम्
नान्तं न मध्यं न पुनस्तवादिम्
नान्तं न मध्यं न पुनस्तवादिम्
पश्यामि विश्वेश्वर विश्वरूपा
पश्यामि विश्वेश्वर विश्वरूपा।
O Lord of the universe, O universal form, I see in your body many, many arms, bellies, mouths, and eyes, expanded everywhere without limit. I see in you no end, no middle, and no beginning. Short purport: Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and is unlimited. Thus, through him, everything could be seen. So, continuation, what all he is seeing, the belly, various arms, bellies, mouths, because there's so many personalities that he is seeing. So, everyone is interjecting like over, um, is like if you look at a picture, like you superimpose one picture on the other and how it looks, that is how he was able to see. There's no middle, and everything was growing, and there is no end to this form. Imagine if we had to see something of that sort. Um, yeah, it's text 17. Toshi Mataji, please recite. Kiritam gadinam chakrinam cha
किरीटिनं गदिनं चक्रिणं च
tejo rashim sarvato diptimantam
तेजो राशिं सर्वतो दीप्तिमन्तम्
पश्यामि त्वं दुर्निरीक्ष्यां समन्ताद्
पश्यामि त्वां दुर्निरीक्ष्यं समन्ता
दीप्तानलङ्कारद्युतिम् अप्रमेयम्.
दीप्तानलार्कद्युतिम् अप्रमेयम्.
Okay. Translation: Your form is difficult to see because of its glaring effulgence, spreading on all sides like blazing fire or the immeasurable radiance of the sun. Yet I see this glowing form everywhere, adorned with various crowns, clubs, and discs. We move on to text 18. Let's begin, Prabhu. Text 18. Tvam aksharam paramam veditavyam.
I can go Mataji. Tvam aksharam paramam videti vyam.
Tvam asya vishwasya param nidhanam.
Tvam asya visvasya param nidanam.
Tam avyaya shashvata dharma gupta.
Tvam avyaya sasvata dharma gupta.
Sanatanastvam purusho mato me.
Sanatanastvam purusho matomi.
Translation: You are the supreme primal object, objective. You are the ultimate resting place of all this universe. You are inexhaustible and you are the oldest. You are the maintainer of their eternal religion, the personality of Godhead. This is my opinion. So,
Translation. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
usually it's
That's
okay. So he is now sharing his realization that you are the resting place, you are the of the entire universe, you are inexhaustible, you are oldest, you are the maintainer of all religious principles, personality of Godhead, and so on. He's sharing his realization. Um, yeah, one more verse. Kanika, are you okay to read?
Yes, Mataji.
Text 19. Anadimadhyantamanantaviryam
अनादिमध्याम् अनन्तावीर्यम्
Anantabahum Shashisuryanetram
अनन्तबाहुं शशिसूर्यनेत्रम्
Pashyami Tvam Deeptahutasavaktam
पश्यान्ति पश्यां त्वद्दीप्ताः तुषावक्त्रम्
Svatejasa Vishwamidam Tapantam.
स्वदेश विश्वम् इदं तपनतम्
Translation: You are without origin, middle, or end. Your glory is unlimited. You have numberless arms, and the sun and moon are your eyes. I see you with blazing fire coming forth from your mouth, burning this entire universe by your own radiance. Please read the purport.
There is no limit to the extent of the six opulences of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Here and in many other places, there is repetition, but according to the scriptures, repetition of the glories of Krishna is not a literary weakness. It is said that at the time of bewilderment or wonder or of great ecstasy, statements are repeated over and over. That is not a flaw.
So, if you look at Arjuna is saying Anadi Madhyantam Ananta Viryam Ananta Bahum Shishishurya Netram Pashyamitvam Dipta Udhasa Vaktam Swatejasam Vishwam Kapant. So there is repetition, looks like Ananta. If you go word for word, Anadi without beginning, but Ananta word or end, unlimited, Ananta another time. So 2 to 3 times, Arjuna, 3 times in fact. Ananta, Ananta, Ananta. So he's saying, just because when we become overwhelmed, how our words come out, right? Double times. Sometimes we repeat the same word or more than that time. Just because we are trying to grope for words and we are looking for that's because our emotions are overwhelmed. That's when it happens. So in this case, it is not what Prabhupada is saying, it is not literally problem or there is a flaw in the literacy, in the literary, it's not like that. It's not a literary weakness, but it is the it is due to the overcome of, is overcome by the ecstatic feeling. And that's how it happens. Do you all have that kind of experience ever? Anybody?
Kindly repeat the question, Mataji.
Did you all have at any time like a feeling of ecstasy or overwhelmed feeling that you will repeat the words, say it over and over?
Sorry, Mataji, in my case, I just go speechless. So I either it's blabbering or it's just going speechless. And I've started noticing now that when the deities are come for the Shingar Darshan, or even in the evenings, they are so opulent that I started to feel as if my senses are not enough to soak in all their opulence, and which is when I go totally speechless. I don't have any words.
That's nice. Anybody else?
Mataji, Haribol.
Yes. Yes, Mataji.
Mataji, like few years ago, I happened to go to Jagannath Puri, and it was like, I heard about it so much. And it was exciting to see Jagannath, face, like I'm just doing that, having darshan physically there, and continuously, seeing. I was like, again and again, Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, kept on going. So that was, I feel that goosebumps came into me, like when I saw first time. So that was the experience I wanted to share. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Anybody else?
Whenever we see Guru Maharaj, Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, we always chant Gauranga, Gauranga, like non-stop, Mataji. That's the ecstasy when we see Guru Maharaj.
Yes. Nice. Go. Anybody else? Okay. So yeah, so in this case, it's not like he's saying the word just because he is looking for more words, but because he's overcome ecstasy. Like that. Repetition of words is happening by Arjuna. Okay, Palak, you can repeat, please. 10, 11, 20. Dvau apritvayoridam antaram hi.
Dhyava prithviyor idam त्वत्तरं हि
व्याप्तं त्वयैकेन दिशश्च सर्वाः
व्याप्तं त्वयैकेन केन दिशश्च सर्वाः
दृष्ट्वाद्भुतं रूपमुग्रं तवेदं
दृष्ट्वा भूतं रूपम् उग्रं तवेदं
लोकात्रयं प्रव्यथितं महात्मान्.
लोकात्रयं प्रव्यथितं महात्मा.
Translation: Although you are one, you spread throughout the sky and the planets and all space between. O great one, seeing this wondrous and terrible form, all the planetary systems are perturbed. Read the translation, purport.
There are Prithviyo, the space between heaven and earth, and Lokatrayam, the three worlds, are significant words in this verse because it appears that not only did Arjuna see this universal form of the Lord, but others in other planetary systems saw it also. Arjuna's seeing of the universal form was not a dream. All whom the Lord endowed with divine vision saw that universal form on the battlefield.
So there are three planetary systems: upper, middle, and lower, where this is happening on the earth. So this is lower Bhumandala or Bhuloka. Then there is middle and then upper. So the demigods or all the residents of the upper planetary systems were also able to see this. So it was visible to Arjuna and Sanjaya and to the demigods from the other planetary systems, like upper planetary systems. So they all could see, because this was only visible to them, not to anybody else. Even on the battlefield, nobody else could see, but it was seen by those people only. Like text 21. Sonal Mataji, text 21.
Yes, ma'am.
Ami hitvam surasanga vashanti
Amihitvam surashanga vasanti
kechidita pranjalayo grinanti
kechit pita pranjalayo grananti
swasti iti ukva maharshi siddha sangha
swasti uktva maharshi siddha sangha
स्तुवन्ति त्वां स्तुतिभिः प्रक्षलाभिः.
stuvanti tvam stutibhi pakshalabhi.
Translation: All the hosts of demigods are surrendering before you and entering into you. Some of them, very much afraid, are offering prayers with folded hands. Hosts of great sages and perfected beings, crying, All peace, are praying to you by singing the Vedic hymns. Purport: The demigods in all planetary systems fear the terrific manifestation of the universal form and its glaring effulgence, and so prayed for protection. So the demigods are also seeing, right? And they are also becoming afraid. And Arjuna's emotions also will change. He is wonderstruck right now, and then he'll become fearful in future, in few verses. So the demigods are represented here as becoming fearful of this glaring effulgence because it's very ghastly, right? All the living entities, he's crushing them under his feet, under his whoever has. So what happens is, what is all Arjuna also sees is the living entities from the battlefield, they are also getting crushed in his mouth, because he has already done he has taken care of all these armies, and he is actually in one sense telling the outcome of the battle to Arjuna by showing his universal form. 22. Who else? I'm calling some names, no response. Ramina Mataji, are you there? Rudula Mataji. You are there?
Hare Krishna.
Yes, 22. Rudratitya vasavo yacha sadhya
Rudra Aditya Vasavo Ye Cha Satya
Vishveshvino marutaschoshmaspascha
Vishveshva Vishnu Marataschoshma Pascha
Gandharvayaksha surasiddha sangha
गन्धर्वयक्षासुरसिद्धसङ्गा
वीक्षन्ते त्वां विस्मितश्चैव सर्वे।
वीक्षन्ते त्वां विस्मिताश्चैव सर्वे.
Translation.
Translation.
All the various manifestations of Lord Shiva, the Adityas, the Vasus, the Sadhyas, the Vishwadevas, the two Ashvis, the Maruts, the forefathers, the Gandharvas, Yakshas, Asuras, and the perfected demigods are beholding you in wonder. So Arjuna is saying that everyone is also looking at you because he is able to see that also, looks like. Short verses are long, the purports are not much there. What else? Shalini, you can also recite this one. Looks like. Ya Rupam Mahatte Bahuvakta Netram
Rupam Mahate Bahuvaktra
Mahabaho Bahubahurupadam
Mahabaho Bahubuharupadam
Bahudaram Bahudam Shrakaralam
Bahudaram Bahudam Shrakaralam
Drishtva Loka Pravyatitas
Drishtva Loka Pravyathat Stathaham.
O mighty armed one, all the planets with their demigods are disturbed at seeing your great form. With its many faces, eyes, arms, thighs, legs, and bellies, and your many terrible teeth. And as they are disturbed, so am I. So he's seeing all the planets and the demigods are disturbed by seeing it because they are fearful. And now he is expressing his fear as well. I am also disturbed by looking at your form in this way. Next, okay, maybe I will just, Srinivas Prabhu, are you there? Maybe you are getting ready. Okay, I will just recite in that case. Nabha sparsham diptam aneka varnam vyattananam dipta vishala netram vishvahitvam pravyatitantaratma dhritim na vidami samam cha Vishnu. O all-pervading Vishnu, seeing you with your many radiant colors touching the sky, your gaping mouths, and your great glowing eyes, my mind is perturbed by fear. I can no longer maintain my steadiness or equilibrium of mind. Damshtakaralani chate mukhani dashtvaiva kalanalasanibani Tisho na jane nalaivecha sharma Prasida devesha jagannivasa. O Lord of Lords, O refuge of the worlds, please be gracious to me. I cannot keep my balance seeing thus your blazing death-like faces and awful teeth. In all directions, I am bewildered. So Arjuna is getting bewildered. Now text 26-27. Little bit what is there? Ami chatvam dashtarashya putra sarve sahaiva vanipala sangai Bhishmo drona suta putrastatasau saham saidur apiyodamukhe Vaktani te tva ramana vishanti damshta karalani bhayanakani केचित् विलग्ना दशनान्तरेषु सन्दर्श्यन्ते चुरिनीतैरुत्तमाङ्गैः. All the sons of the Dhritarashtra, along with their elite kings, and Bhishma, Drona, Karna, and our chief soldiers also are rushing into your fearful mouths, and some I see trapped with heads smashed between your teeth. Someone read the purport, please.
Devi Mataji hasn't read, Mataji.
Oh, she didn't? Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Can I read the purport?
Yeah, I read the purport.
Thank you. In a previous verse, the Lord promised to Arjuna things he would be very interested in seeing. Now Arjuna, seeing Now Arjuna sees that the leaders of the opposite party, Bhishma, Drona, Karna, and all the sons of Dhritarashtra, and their soldiers and Arjuna's own soldiers are all being annihilated. This is an indication that after the death of nearly all the persons assembled at Kurukshetra, Arjuna will emerge victorious. It is also mentioned here that Bhishma, who was supposed to be unconquerable, will also be smashed. So also Karna. Not only will the great warriors of the other party like Bhishma be smashed, some of the great warriors of Arjuna's side also.
Yeah. So who at the end are left in the battlefield is just the 5 Pandavas. All the army from both sides are all vanquished in this battle. And not just um, Kuru's family, dynasty or Kuru's army, not just the Duryodhana's army, but Duryodhana himself, all his brothers, Bhishma, Drona, Karna, and so much of army is all smashed in this, or they're killed in this battle. On the Arjuna side also, so many are destroyed, except many warriors on Arjuna's side. Arjuna's son, what is his name? Arjuna's son, Abhimanyu also is killed in the battle, and only 5 Pandavas are remaining, only them, because their righteousness is with them. Krishna has kept only those, just to show that this war is not easy when it happens. It is going to take lives of so many soldiers in that battlefield. So it continues in text 28. Yata nadinam bahumo vega samudrameva vimukadravanti tata tavami naraloka vira vishanti vaktani abhivigvalanti. As the many waves of the rivers flow into the ocean, so do all these great warriors enter blazing into your mouths. Okay. Text 29. Yata pradiptam jvalanam patanga vishanti nashaya samruddha vegaha tateva nashaya vishanti lokas tavapi bhaktani samruddha vegaha. I see all people rushing full speed into your mouth as moths dash to destruction in a blazing fire. Just like when the moths, they rush into the fire, just because there is a glaring fire, the moths, they rush to that fire, and not knowing, they give up their life in the fire. So similarly, the comparison is all these living entities, all these people are rushing into the mouth just as the moths do. Leli hasse grasaman mana samantal lokan samagran vadane jvalabdi tejo virapurya jagat samagram vasastavugra pratapanti Vishnu. Devi, please read the translation.
O Vishnu, I see you devouring all the people from all sides with your flaming mouths, covering all the universe with your effulgence. You are manifest with terrible and scorching rays.
I think we'll just read the translations here. Okay, Sonal Mataji, please read text 32, 31 translation.
O Lord of Lords, so fierce of form, please tell me who you are. I offer my obeisances unto you. Please be gracious to me. You are the primal Lord. I want to know about you, for I do not know what your mission is.
Yeah. Now he's expressing, who are you? Although he knows who he is Krishna, and he is, because he wanted to show his universal form, he's showing, and then now Arjuna is asking, who are you? I'm like getting scared. I'm bewildered. Please tell me, what is your mission? So then Krishna will reveal his mission. Now Krishna is going to speak. Now Krishna speaks many beautiful verses. So let's read only translation, but this is an important word, so let me just recite this. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Kalosmi Loka Kshayakrit Pravaddo Lokan Samahartumiha Pravarta Iti Pittvamna Bhavishanti Sarve Eva Shishta Pati Anikeshu Yodaha. Read the purport and translation and purport. Who will do? Who wants to read?
I can read,
I can
Mataji.
read. Oh,
Go
sorry.
ahead, Yushat Mataji. No, go
No,
ahead.
you can read, Mataji.
It's okay, Mataji. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Okay. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Time I am, the great destroyer of the worlds, and I have come here to destroy all people. With the exception of few, the Pandavas, all the soldiers here on both sides will be slain for good. Although Arjuna knew that Krishna was his friend and the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he was puzzled by the various forms exhibited by Krishna. Therefore, he asked further about the actual mission of this devastating force. It is written in the Vedas that the Supreme Truth destroys everything, even the Brahmanas. Stated in the Katha Upanishad 1.2.25, Yasya Brahma च क्षत्रम च उभे भावता ओदना मृत्युर्यशोपशेचनम का इथा वेदा yatra sa. Eventually, all the Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, and everyone else are devoured like a meal by the Supreme. This form of the Supreme Lord is all devouring giant. And here Krishna presents himself in that form of all devouring time. Except for a few Pandavas, everyone who was present on that battlefield would be devoured by him. Arjuna was not in favor of the fight, and he thought it was better not to fight. Then there would be no frustration. In reply, the Lord is saying that even if he did not fight, every one of them would be destroyed. But that was his plan. If Arjuna stopped fighting, they would die in another way. Death could not be checked, and even if he did not fight, in fact, they were already dead. Time is destruction, and all manifestations are to be vanquished by the desire of the Supreme Lord. That is the law of nature.
So this verse, Krishna is saying, Kalosmi. Who are you? For that question, he is saying, Kalosmi. Lokakshayakrit pravarabdo. I am the time. I am time. Time am I, the great destroyer of the worlds. As a destroyer of the worlds, I came as time and I'm going to destroy. So now Arjuna didn't want to fight at the beginning, right? So he was trying to make peace with the situation, and if he can go away from the battlefield, then fight will not happen. Now Krishna is telling Arjuna that even if you fight or not, I have decided the outcome. These people will be dead, and that is what I am saying. Because time I'm come here to kill all these people, whether you fight or not. So what he says is, because I've already decided they will die in this battle, I am asking you to take the credit, become the hero of Bhagavad Gita, become the hero of the battle of Kurukshetra, take the credit and do your part of fighting. That is what Krishna is saying, because he's already decided the outcome. Everyone will die, everyone will be killed. He has already decided, but then he's asking his devotees. That's what Krishna does, right? So he wants his devotees to take the credit. Otherwise, he can do everything. For him, he doesn't need. Remember how many Akshohinis of soldiers Krishna has killed when Jarasandha came 17 times on Mathura, waging a war. He gathered so many people from 17 times. He got so many Akshogini is the number they define with for the armies. So many times they came, and he could single-handedly. His army was also there, but for him it was not difficult. He could just send his Vishnu Chakra, and that will take care of everyone. But here he wanted that Arjuna do that, participate in the war, and become the hero of the battle and take the credit. Now, who is the hero of battle of Kurukshetra? It's Arjuna. Arjuna is the hero. It's not Krishna. Although Krishna is a driver and he is orchestrated everything, but he is not the hero of battle of Kurukshetra. It is Arjuna. So that's what he's asking Arjuna. You take the credit. You become the hero of this battle. Now he is now encouraging Arjuna. Tasmat Vamuktish. Okay, we decided not to read the verses. So please read the verse, translation, and purport, one of you.
I'll read, Mataji. Translation: Therefore get up, prepare to fight and win glory. Conquer your enemies and enjoy a flourishing kingdom. They are already put to death by my arrangement, and you, O Savyasachi, can be just an instrument in the fight. Purport: Savyasachin refers to the one who can shoot arrows very expertly in the field. Thus, Arjuna is addressed as an expert warrior capable of delivering arrows to kill his enemies. Just become an instrument. Nimitta matram. This word is also very significant. The whole world is moving according to the plan of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Foolish persons who do not have sufficient knowledge think that nature is moving without a plan and all manifestations are but accidental formations. There are many so-called scientists who suggest that perhaps it was like this or maybe like that, but there is no question of perhaps and maybe. There is a specific plan being carried out in this material world. What is this plan? This cosmic manifestation is a chance for the conditioned soul to go back to Godhead, back to home. As long as they have their domineering mentality, which makes them try to lord it over material nature, they are conditioned. But anyone who can understand the plan of the Supreme Lord and cultivate Krishna consciousness is most intelligent. The creation and destruction of the cosmic manifestation are under the superior guidance of God. Thus, the battle of Kurukshetra was fought according to the plan of God. Arjuna was refusing to fight, but he was told that he could fight in accordance with the desire of the Supreme Lord. Then he would be happy. If one is in full Krishna consciousness and his life is devoted to the Lord's transcendental service, he is perfect.
Actually, this verse is also very nice. The last line, Nimitta matram bhava sabyasachi. He says, become an instrument, Nimitta matram. Because I have already done, you become an instrument and take the credit. And if you do according to my plan, then everything will be fine, you will be happy. So what is Krishna's plan? Krishna's plan is this, to bring all the people, to bring all the people from all the demonic mentality people, all them together and execute them. That is his plan. So it's not ordinarily understandable by people, like what is Krishna's plan. So we need the expert advice from the Guru, Sadhu and Shastra to tell us what is the plan of the Lord. So in this case, his plan for the battle of Kurukshetra was to bring everyone and execute them. And like that is telling Arjuna to become an instrument only. Nimitta matram bhava sabyasachi. Sabyasachi is one who expertly shoots arrows. He actually shoots arrows with both hands. That's why it's called Sabyasachi. Do you also have this feeling of what is the plan of the Lord for us? Do you get that feeling at all? Or you're all understand that everything has been clearly laid out for you? We just have to just do whatever it is. Yes, Kanika.
I think Mataji, it's like I always feel there is always a plan, because if I look at my at least Krishna conscious journey, if it was up to me, I don't think I would have been able to accomplish like a drop even. But I feel like when there is a higher plan at place and you want to do something, then Krishna assists and says, okay, let me try to make it easy for you to gain some momentum in Krishna consciousness. So I've always felt that there is a plan.
Anybody else?
Could one experience both, Mataji? Because there are times when you accept that it's the Lord's plan, but there are times when you're struggling. Did you question the Lord? What is your plans? Because you think this will help you cope with it. So I sometimes feel like I fluctuate between both mediums. When things go smoothly, you go with the Lord's plan. But when you're in distress, you start questioning, oh my goodness, could you tell me what is next so that I can get some relief? So I feel like I go between both.
And that's usually the case.
Yeah.
Karika was very blessed, is the best. So she knows everything is plan of the Lord. But for most of the people, we are struggling. Please tell what is your plan? What do you want me to do? For most people, it is like that. What is it you want me to do? I don't understand any head or tail of this situation. What is that you want me to do? Yeah, that's how it is. So Bhishma Dev, great devotee of the Lord, also praised to the Lord, saying that what nobody understands the plan of the Lord. In this case, nobody could understand, even in the battle of Kurukshetra. It is so much of manpower has destroyed, and so much of, and Arjuna's questions in the beginning, all the men will be gone, then women will become helpless, and they will have Varna Shankara population. All that might happen, but then when there is a religious leader coming into the seat as a king, is enthroned as a king, then the dharma will be retained. So Krishna has a higher plan. Although Arjuna's thought process was, if all this will happen, there will be so much of destruction everywhere, destructions of traditions. But Krishna's plan is higher than that. He wanted to enthrone a righteous king like Yudhishthir Maharaj as a king. When the king is righteous, he will ensure that the religious principles are followed. Women, even though are left with the men, they'll be protected under the guidance of the king. And then they will be taken care. And then the religious principles will thrive rather than traditions going to become neglected. So that is the plan of the Lord. So it's hard to think in terms of plan of the Lord. What is it going to happen? Because we want everything to happen now and everything to be clearly articulated to us, and the outcome has to be told to us, and then everything on the way should be made clear. So that's how we expect. But that's not what Krishna is going to give, right? He's asking us to tread our path and go explore, experience Krishna consciousness at every step. Then you will know slowly your own plan, your own path. Some people expect that everything should be clearly made now clear, what happens in the future. Well, how you can't take that. You need to live your life so that you'll experience what it is going to happen. And that's something, it's beautiful journey also, right? Like you're experiencing Krishna's mercy at each and every step. So you will go through that, and that's the beauty of Krishna consciousness. Krishna is there with you, and you're going through this, even in challenges, even in sorrows, even in distress and happiness. Krishna is always there with you, guiding you. Remember that his hand, his invisible hand is always there, even though we are going through some distress. Anybody knows that story where this person was, he could see two footsteps all the while. The person is going through some distress and he is walking on the path, and there is always the Lord with him, traveling along with him. And so he could all the while see two pairs of footsteps, one his own and one is that of the Lord. So they both are traveling on the path, and he could see Lord's footstep and his footsteps as well. But after some time, he could see only one pair of footsteps, one pair of footsteps, not the second pair. And then he was wondering what happened. Then he asked the Lord, what happened, Lord? You stopped coming with me? Then the Lord said, at this point, I lifted you in my arms and I'm traveling. It is my footsteps, it's not yours. You are in my arms and I'm carrying you. So that's how the Lord is. He treats us in that way. If you are surrendered, right? If you surrendered and you show your devotion to the Lord, He'll carry. And that's His promise in the 9th chapter. What is that promise that He said? Anybody remembers from the 9th chapter?
I carry, I carry whatever you leave. I think that.
Yogakshemam vahamyaham anantash chintayanto mam. Is that the one, Mataji?
Yeah. 9:22.
Yeah.
And yes, that's right, Priyamvada. You're telling the translation, but someone can repeat the entire verse. Was it not a memorization verse? Probably not.
No.
But I told this has to be memorized. Anybody remember? So anybody doing the homework that we are talking, I haven't asked for in a few weeks. Some verses that I said, this is important, you can memorize. 9, 10, 8 to 11, all those 4 verses, not just the 2 that you have to memorize. Like that. And Manmana Bhava 934. So this verse is saying, Ananya Chintayantyo Mam Ye Jana Parupasate Tesham Nityabhayuktanam Yogakshemam Vahamyaham. I can paraphrase, I don't remember what word of the translation, but whoever surrenders unto me with full devotion, I carry what they lack and preserve what they have. And what is he preserving? Our devotion. Our material body might not be preserved because it is subjected to 3 modes of material miseries, but then he'll preserve whatever that is required for us to carry on life after life in the devotion, in the service of the Lord. So that's what he carries. He preserves. So that is what he is saying. So yeah, Palak, you had a question?
Yes, Mataji. Just something that I think about. So we've been reading that we end up in the material world because we develop ego, right? And so we come here so that we can finally realize it again and go back to Godhead. What I think about sometimes is that it's not that we also develop ego when it's about our parents. For example, during our teenage years, we get so rebellious, and then later we're like, oh, we can do everything on our own and all of that. We enjoy the ego even with our parents, but I think as we grow, there comes a stage where you realize that no, your parents are your source, right? And you got to love them, you got to respect them, right? You got to take care of them. I wonder that why Krishna makes us forget him, which makes it so difficult to be where the concept of faith is so big, right? You have to develop faith. Everything is dependent on the faith. Why is it not like we always remember, yes, Krishna is our father? It's just that we have our egos, we are enjoying it, but ultimately we will anyway come back to him. Apparently, the path is just so difficult sometimes.
This is a comment. What is the question?
No question, just a comment, something that I usually think about.
Yeah. That is because we want to, like that other famous saying, right? The old people want to say they don't want to get old, but young people want to get old soon. Young people say, I am grown up, I can take care of myself. I don't need to depend on you. That's what young people think. Old people think that I don't want to grow. Like, and the young people says, I have already grown. So that's always the case. So because of that feeling that I don't need support or I can do it on my own, that's the false ego, right? That is where later on you realize how much the parents have supported us all throughout, even though we were rebellious, and they have supported even without giving up on us and always supporting us from behind, even though they say that, okay, you can do, but I'm there to guide you and from behind. They don't even want to have any guidance. That's how the teenage rebellious, that is how it is. So at that time, if we can become humble, because of how will the humility come without reading the Shastra? Humility will not come. It will not develop without reading Shastra and associating with the devotees. And even in the devotional service, when we become proud, like I am doing so many readings, so much, I'm chanting so much, I'm attending so many classes, there also false ego might come up. I'm giving so many classes, like that. So that is very harmful for us. Moving on. 34. Someone read the translations and purport. Priyamada Mataji, you wanted to read, right?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah.
Translation, Prabhupada Mataji.
Translation and purport.
Drona, Bhishma, Jayadratha, Krishna, Karna and the other great warriors have already been destroyed by me. Therefore, kill them and do not be disturbed. Simply fight, and you will vanquish your enemies in battle. Purport: every plan is made by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but He is so kind and merciful to the devotees that He wants to give the credit to His devotees who carry out His plan according to his desire. Life should therefore move in such a way that everyone acts in Krishna consciousness and understands the Supreme Personality of Godhead through the medium of his spiritual master. The plan of the Supreme Personality of Godhead are understood by the mercy, and the plans of the devotees are as good as his plans. One should follow such plans and be victorious in struggle for existence.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, so here the spiritual master plays a key role in our lives, guiding us, giving us whatever is required by us, and guiding us the path on devotion service. So we need to understand that our plan through the medium of spiritual master. By then, because the Guru has seen us, they understand our nature and they guide us accordingly. In that case, we will become victorious. So Guru's instructions may not be specific to also how many instructions will he give specifically to so many people. Guru's instructions are generic also in one sense, and that generic itself is specifics for us. Like we have to chant or whatever oath we take during the time of initiation, that itself is our instruction. He doesn't have to specifically give us a separate instruction to do this. So that instruction that we have to chant, follow the teachings of Srila Prabhupada, that's a direct instruction. It's a specific instruction. It's a very big instruction also. Follow the principles of the teachings of Srila Prabhupada. Apart from reading, chanting, following the four regulative principles, following the teachings of Srila Prabhupada means what? That's a specific instruction. It's a lifetime achievement. It's lifetime process, right? So we don't need any other specific other instruction. Sometimes people may say, I didn't get any specific instruction from my guru, but you got this instruction that follow whatever you have taken during the time of initiation. That itself is enough for us to go on with this life. Yeah. We'll continue. Now Sanjay is speaking. Okay, now let's read. Also, purports are small anyway. So someone read the translation and purport.
I can read it.
Yes. Oh, sorry, I didn't call out your name. Yeah, go ahead.
That's okay. Sanjaya said to Dhritarashtra, O king, after hearing the words from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the trembling Arjuna offered obeisances with folded hands again and again. He fearfully spoke to Lord Krishna in a faltering voice as follows. Purport. As we have already explained, because of the situation created by universal form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Arjuna became bewildered in wonder. Thus he began to offer his respectful obeisances unto Krishna again and again. And with faltering voice he began to pray, not as a friend, but as a devotee in wonder.
Now Arjuna becomes again surrendered devotee. He is already surrendered in the beginning of Bhagavad Gita when he says, now I am not I'm a surrendered devotee unto you. Which verse was that? Anybody remembers?
I remember the last line of that verse, Shishya Shadhi Mam Toam Prapannam.
What's the number?
2.7.
2.7. You can recite.
कार्पण्यदोषोपहत स्वभाव पृच्छामि त्वां धर्मसम्मूढचेताः यच्छ्रेयः स्यान्निश्चितं ब्रूहि तन्मे शिष्यस्तेऽहं शाधि मां त्वां प्रपन्नम्.
And now I have become a soul surrender unto you. Please instruct me. Shishyasteham sadhimam tvam prapannam. Now I am surrender unto you. Please instruct me. At that time, he is surrendered for instructions. Now he is surrendering because of in devotion, in fear, in wonder. Now Arjuna is saying, let's read translation and purport. One of you. 36.
I can read the translation, Purpur Mataji.
Yeah, please
If
go.
you can scroll down the screen, please. Thank you. Arjuna said, O master of the senses, the world becomes joyful upon hearing your name, and thus everyone becomes attached to you. Although the perfected beings offer you the respectful homage, the demons are afraid, and they flee here and there. All this is rightly done. Purport. Arjuna, after hearing from Krishna about the outcome of the battle of Kurukshetra, became enlightened, and as a great devotee and a friend of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he said that everything done by Krishna is quite fit. Arjuna confirmed that Krishna is the maintainer and the object of worship for the devotees and the destroyer of the undesirables. His actions are equally good for all. Arjuna understood herein that when the battle of Kurukshetra was being concluded, in outer space, there were present many demigods, siddhas, and the intelligentsias of the higher planets, and they were observing the fight because Krishna was present there. When Arjuna saw the universal form of the Lord, the demigods took pleasure in it. But others, who were demons and atheists, could not stand it when the Lord was praised. Out of their natural fear of the devastating form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, they fled. Krishna's treatment of the devotees and the atheists is praised by Arjuna. In all cases, a devotee glorifies the Lord because he knows that whatever he does is good for all.
Yeah. So now this devotees only become surrendered to the Lord, they pray. But the non-devotees, atheists, they flee. They can't stand the glorification of the Lord first. And out of fear also they may flee. One thing, out of envy and out of fear, they flee. Because they can't stand the glorification of the Lord. I'll continue. Another person, read 37. Translation and purport. You had a question?
Yes, Mataji. Mataji, here it says demons and atheists, they could not stand that the Lord was praised. Do we have demons and atheists in heavenly planets who could not take it? I mean, where are they? How could they know that Krishna has been praised? Confused.
It is, I think Arjuna is just saying it because other planetary systems, they are all the great devotees, higher than the lower planetary system people, right? So Arjuna is saying that ordinarily the devotees only will surrender to the Lord and pray, but demons cannot stand the Lord. He's just saying it for that, just making it clear that whenever this glorification of the Lord happens, the demons flee. It's not that higher planetary people are watching him in that form because it needs special qualification also, right? It's not possible for them to see Krishna in that form. It is only devotees who are able to see. But he's expressing his opinion that these people can't stand you. That.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay. Summary 37 and 38. Sorry, 37.
If nobody is reading, I can, Mataji.
Yeah, go ahead. Anybody. I want people to come forward rather than because I'm asking someone. It's not
I
happening.
can do.
Who?
Mataji Toshima.
Yes, Mataji, read.
Mataji, we need to read purport.
Translation and purport, both.
Okay. O great one, greater even than Brahma, you are the original creator. Why then should they not offer their respectful obeisances unto you, O limitless one, God of gods, refuge of the universe? You are the invincible source, the cause of all causes, transcendental to this material manifestation. Purport, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. By this offering of obeisances, Arjun indicates that Krishna is worshipable by everyone. He is all pervading and he is the soul of every soul. Arjuna is addressing Krishna as Mahatma, which means that he is most magnanimous and unlimited. Anant indicates that there is nothing which is not covered by the influence and energy of the Supreme Lord. And Deveshu means that he is the controller of all demigods and is above them all. He is the shelter of the whole universe. Arjun also thought that it was fitting that all the perfect living entities and powerful demigods offer their respectful obeisances unto him, because no one is greater than him. Arjun especially mentions that Krishna is greater than Brahma because Brahma is created by him. Brahma is born out of the lotus stem grown from the navel abdomen of Garbhodakshai Vishnu, who is Krishna's plenary expansion. Therefore, Brahma and Lord Shiv, who is born of Brahma, and all other demigods must offer their respectful obeisances. It is called in the Srimad Bhagavatam that Lord is respected by Lord Shiva and Brahma and similar other demigods. The word Aksharam is very significant because this material creation is subject to destruction, but the Lord is above this material creation. He is the cause of all causes, and being so, he is the superior to all the conditioned soul within the material nature as well as the material cosmic manifestation itself. He is therefore the all great supreme.
So now Arjuna is continuing, O great one, O greater than Brahma, you are the original creator. Why then should they not offer their respectful obeisances unto you? O limitless one, God of gods, refuge in the universe, you are the invisible source, the cause of all causes, transcendental. This is Arjuna's prayers again. He is expressing his devotion. Like, why don't other people submit to you? Why don't they offer obeisances to you? Devotees do, but not others. That same thing. Yes, next verse 38.
I can go ahead again. That's okay. Is
Yeah.
anybody else?
Yeah.
You are the original personality of Godhead, the oldest, the ultimate sanctuary of this manifested cosmic world. You are the knower of everything, and you are all that is knowable. You are the supreme refuge above the material modes, O limitless form. This whole cosmic manifestation is pervaded by you, God. Everything is resting on the supreme personality of Godhead. Therefore, he is the ultimate rest. Nidhanam means that everything, even the Brahma effulgence, rests on the supreme personality of Godhead, Krishna. He is the knower of everything that is happening in this world. And if the knowledge has an end, and if knowledge has any end, he is the end of all knowledge. Therefore, he is the known and knowable. He is the object of knowledge because he is all pervading, because he is the cause of the spiritual in the spiritual world. He is transcendental. He is also the chief personality in the transcendental world.
Yeah. So Krishna is the oldest, is ultimate sanctuary of this material manifested cosmic manifestation. He is the knower of everything, and he is that is knowable. Knowable means that who should be known by us. He is knowable by the Shastra, and he knows everything. He is a supreme refuge, is a above the modes, O limitless one. This whole cosmic manifestation is pervaded by you. So he is expressing his glorification to Krishna. He's continuing with that. Read some of your read, please. 39.
Okay, I'll read Mataji. 39, translation. You are air and you are the supreme controller. You are fire, you are water, and you are the moon. You are Brahma, the first living creature, and you are the great grandfather. I therefore offer my respectful obeisances unto you 1,000 times and again and yet again. Purport. The Lord is addressed here as air because the air is the most important representation of all the demigods, being all pervasive. Arjuna also addresses Krishna as the great grandfather because he's the father of Brahma, the first living creature in the universe.
Yeah. So air is the biggest or the strongest. How can you say? Air goes to places where even sun doesn't go, right? If you're inside the house, sun doesn't go. But air goes. So air is the strongest in that sense. Unless you put something as airtight, but otherwise air can go everywhere. The sun, where sun cannot also go. So he's the most important, Vayu, represented as a demigod, is because it's all pervasive. And it also says that within the sky, air is like one other analogy we saw, that sky is the entire air is manifested within the sky, right? Remember some previous backwards we have read that analogy. The air is all encompassing throughout in the sky. Yeah, 40.
I can read, Mataji.
Yeah, good.
Obeisances to you from the front and behind and from all sides. You unbounded power. You are the master of limitless might. You are all pervading and thus you are everything. Purport. Out of loving ecstasy for Krishna, his friend Arjun is offering his respects from all sides. He is accepting that he is the master of all potencies and all powers and far superior to all the great warriors assembled on the battlefield. It is said in the Vishnu Purana 1.9.69, Yoyam tavagato deva sampitam samipam devata सोत्वम् एव जगत् स्रष्टा यतः सर्वगतो भवान्. Whoever comes before you, even if he be demigod, is created by you, O Supreme Personality of Godhead.
So Arjuna is paying obeisances to Krishna from all sides, front, back, because there is nothing like front or back for this universal form. It is all pervading, right? So he's offering obeisances in all the directions, from front, from his back, from his front, on all sides. Next, 42 and 43. Now he's changing his mood. Yeah, 42 to 40, 41 to 42. So one of you please read. It's a bigger one.
I can read, Mataji.
Yes.
Thinking of you as my friend, I have rashly addressed you, O Krishna, O Yadava, O my friend, not knowing your glories. Please forgive whatever I may have done in the madness or in love. Dishonored you many times, jesting as we relaxed, lay on the same bed, or sat or ate together, sometimes alone and sometimes in front of many friends. O infallible one, please excuse me for all those offenses. Purport. Although Krishna is manifested before Arjuna in his universal form, Arjuna remembers his friendly relationship with Krishna and is therefore asking pardon and requesting Krishna to excuse him for the many informal gestures which arise out of friendship. He's admitting that formerly he did not know that Krishna could assume such a universal form, although Krishna explained it as his intimate friend. Arjuna did not know how many times he may have dishonored Krishna by addressing him, "Oh, my friend, oh, Krishna, oh, Yadava," etc., without acknowledging his opulence. But Krishna is so kind and merciful that in spite of such opulence, he played with Arjuna as a friend. Such is the transcendental love and reciprocation between the devotee and the Lord. The relationship between the living entity and Krishna is fixed eternally, cannot be forgotten, as we can see from the behavior of Arjuna. Although Arjuna has seen the opulence in the universal form, he cannot forget his friendly relationship with Krishna.
So this Krishna, he calls, "Hey Krishna, hey Yadava, hey Saketi." There is some nice phrase here. It can be meditative also. Hey Krishna, hey Yadava, hey Saketi. So he knows he's his friend, but then he also asking for forgiveness because Krishna is so powerful, right? When he manifested his universal form, Arjuna could see how powerful he is. And then he is feeling bad that he has taken him as a friend and did all that friends do together, having fun, eating together, sleeping, resting together, and so on. So he is asking for apologies. So difference between now Arjuna, we know, is in the Aishwarya mood where he's from Sakya to Aishwarya, he can change his mood like that. From Sakya, from friendship to Aishwarya, he could change. But the boys of Vrindavan, cohort boys, they will not change. That is their position. Even though they are friends, they will never become They will never start praying to Krishna, saying, "Oh Krishna, you are great." They will always, like we discussed yesterday, they will always treat him as their intimate friend, not maybe a little powerful than them, but nothing more than that. He's not a god for them. Next 43. We will stop here after this. 43.
I can read, Mataji.
Yes.
Mataji can, yeah. You are the father of this complete cosmic manifestation of the moving and non-moving. You are the worshipable sheep, the supreme spiritual master. No one is greater than you. No one can be one with you. How then could there be anyone greater than you within the three worlds, O Lord of immeasurable power? But the supreme personality of Godhead, Krishna, is worshipable as a father is worshipable for his son. He is the spiritual master because he is originally gave the Vedic instruction to Brahma, and presently he is also instructing Bhagavad Gita to Arjun. Therefore, he is the original spiritual master, and any bona fide spiritual master at the present moment must be a descendant in the line of disciplic succession stemming from Krishna. Without being a representative of Krishna, one cannot become a teacher of or the spiritual master of the transcendental subject matter. The Lord is being paid obeisances in all respects. He is of immeasurable greatness. No one can be greater than the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna because no one is equal to or higher than Krishna within any manifestation, spiritual or material. Everyone is below him. No one can excel him. This is stated in Svetashwara Upanishad 6.8. Natasya karyam kar karanam cha vidyate natat samasha cha bhayadikasha cha drishyate. The Supreme Lord Krishna has sense and a body like the ordinary man, but for him there is no difference between his senses, his body, his mind, and himself. Foolish persons who do not perfectly know him say that Krishna is different from his soul, mind, heart, and everything else. Krishna is absolute, therefore, his activities and potencies are supreme. It is also stated that although he does not have senses like ours, he can perform all sensory activities. Therefore, his senses are neither imperfect nor limited. No one can be greater than him, no one can be equal to him, and everyone is lower than him. The knowledge, strength, and the activities of the Supreme Personality are all transcendental as stated in Bhagavad Gita 4.9. Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo veti tatvatah tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mameti. So Arjuna, whoever knows Krishna's transcendental body, activities, and perfection, after quitting his body, returns to him and does not come back again to this miserable world. Therefore, one should know that Krishna's activities are different from others. The best policy is to follow the principle of Krishna that will make one perfect. It is also stated that there is no one who is master of Krishna, everyone is his servant. The Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Lila 5.142 confirms Ekale Ishwarah Krishna Arasabha Bhritya. Only Krishna is God and everyone else is his servant. Everyone is complying with his order. There is no one who can deny his order. Everyone is acting according to his direction, being under his superintendence. And stated in Brahma Samhita, he is the cause of all causes.
So, little more further explanation that he is the father of this complete cosmic manifestation of the moving and non-moving. You are its worshipable sheep, the supreme spiritual master. No one is greater than you, nor can anyone be one with you. How then there could be anyone greater than you within three worlds, O Lord of immeasurable power? So, this is again the same mood that Arjuna is carrying, expressing his devotion, his greatness for Krishna, expressing his glorification, saying that you are the greatest, you are the oldest, you are the supreme worshipable deity. No one can know you like that. And this verse that we know from Bhagavad Gita, Janma Karma Chamritibhyam, one who knows that Krishna is that in that position is who's full in all opulences, is the greatest, is strongest, is can understand Krishna. And for that such person, there is no death after quitting this body, no birth again after quitting this body. So this is the policy that devotees of Krishna should follow. And that is what Prabhupada is recommending. Because in this world, there is no Ekale Sarve Krishna Arasabha Bhartya. That means everyone is a servant. Bhartya is servant. Ekalas Ishvara Krishna. Ishvara is a controller or the Lord. Only Krishna is the Lord. Everyone else is his servants. And when we say male and female, Prakriti, Purusha, only Purusha in this world is Krishna. Everyone else is Prakriti only. Even the male members in our species. Because they are all part of Prakriti only, right? So Prakriti is female, Krishna is male, everything else is female. But how we call them as male? Because everyone acts, even the females act in the Purusha mentality. The mentality is what that differentiates. We all act in Purusha mentality. Purusha is the enjoyer, means the actual meaning of Purusha is enjoyer. So we all are having the Purusha mentality, although we are Prakriti. Female and male, no differentiation. They all act as Purushas. However, they are all part of Prakriti, even the male and female. So only male member here is Krishna. Is the only Ishvara. Arasabha Bhaktya. If we can understand that and execute our life in that way, that we are servant of the servant of the servant of Lord Shri Krishna, rather than the enjoyer or master, then we have this verse, Janma Karma Chamedivim. After finishing our business here, we don't have to take birth, because in the devotional life, it is only service that we are doing. We are not acting as anybody boss. We don't have that mentality. We might act as a service, because in the spiritual situation, it is called servant leaders. We may be leaders, but in the service, we are acting as leaders. We are not leaders just like that. We are servant leaders. In that mode of service, we are acting as leaders, not as enjoyers. So if we can understand that principle, then our life here will be easy, in the sense like our devotional life will go on smoothly, and finally at the end of the life, we will have chance to go back to Godhead, where we'll also do the same thing there in the spiritual life, in the spiritual world, being a servant of the Lord. So we will stop here for the day. I think many people also won't be available after. We'll continue from 44, right? Or next week. We'll try to finish on Saturday, 15 verses remaining, 15, 16. And Sunday we can start with the 12th chapter if possible. Sounds good? Any other questions or comments? Okay, anybody has done their homework? Last time we spoke that we have to practice mauna or silence, periods of silence. Anybody practice that? Yes.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji, I've, in like addition to the japa time, many of you are doing our malas that we considered in our last class to be silence, because japa doesn't really interfere with, our silence time. And like during that time, I've noticed that you don't just become intuitive about like the external world, you also become intuitive, at least I do, about myself. So everything comes bubbling up that this is what I need to fix. So it helps in introspection, silence, periods of silence, I feel.
Right. It helps in introspection. That's very nice. So in introspection, once we know where we are lacking, we know at least where we are lacking. Fixing comes later on. But at least we have an understanding what is our problem area.
Yes. Yes.
Once we know our problems, half problem already solved. The more problem that we have is we don't know our problems.
Right.
That's when we have problems. Once we know we are having problems, then problem half solved already. Anybody else?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji, I don't know it will be considered as a silence. Like, there is a time I'm just sitting quietly and basically meditating that Krishna is, because I have sometimes severe pain. I meditate that Krishna is there, and with his energy and light, I just feel that he's helping me to kind of take a, I mean,
Overcome.
feel that, yeah, calm me and all that. So that moments happens. Any time of the day, I sit and quietly and do this. That after that, I feel that some like inhale, exhale, and then feel calmness in my body, like little good, vibes are good. Then that's what I feel. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you. Anybody else? Okay. Please continue to follow this the homework, because that will help us to grow deeper in our own journey in Krishna consciousness. And we can do anything that will help you. All my endeavor is to just give you some tips here and there, so that my journey also enhances along with your journey, so that I also practice these things as we go along. And you also practice, so that if you can keep them for long periods in your Krishna conscious process, that will only enhance the bhakti process within each of us. So with that, we will conclude here for the day. We'll continue next week. Thank you very much for this opportunity. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripasindhubhyevacha pattanam pavnebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Anantakoti Vaishnava ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you. Hare Krishna. See you next
Hare
week.
Krishna Mataji. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna, thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.